Today we're going to be talking about a product called Ethanol Shield. And what this product does is it's a complete fuel system treatment. Whether you're looking to store fuel for an extended period of time, clean out the fuel system, or revitalize critical engine components and fuel system components, Ethanol Shield is the only product on the market that we found that does everything that it's advertised to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a test now with Ethanol Shield and a bunch of other products to see how they compare and if they really work. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to take our aluminum can, of which I also had to spray paint. On the bottom of every can there's a carbon date. I don't know if you can see that in there. There's a little bit of carbon. You can see it through the shine. That's a carbon stamp, and a carbon stamp will bond to the metal. It won't wash off with soap or water or pretty much anything else. So carbon on metal is what we see in the fuel system as well. So what we want to do is test these products and see if they can remove this carbon stamp, emulating a carbon removal out of the fuel system or out of the any of the major engine components. So you can see the carbon stamp right there, and see if we can get a better glance at that. Okay, so we're going to just take a little bit of the Ethanol Shield. Just pour a dab in there. You can get it on the table and anywhere else. So with the so we poured some in there with the Ethanol Shield. If you just swish it around a little bit, you'll already start to see that carbon start to come off. Ethanol Shield does a really, really great job of decarboning the metal. So it's almost off, and we haven't even touched it, nor did we leave it on there for very long, and you can already see that carbon stamp washing off. Okay, so let's see what some of these others do. Okay, we'll take this product here, do the pour test. Okay, so it's in there. Nothing's decarboning. We'll leave them sit for a little bit longer yet. I'll pour all these into their associated cans here. Let's get that done up. So basically, all of these products that claim to be complete fuel system treatments, let's see, for the decarboning, I only see that we have E decarboned a little bit. D is decarboning a little bit. The rest of them is nothing. All right, for the next test, what we're going to do is we're going to add water to this mixture to see what it does with the water. Most of these products claim that they can dewater or envelop water, and we'll see how they hold out. Okay, so I'm going to put water in the Ethanol Shield. I don't know if you can see what's happening in there. It envelops the water. The water, it literally attacks that water. It doesn't allow it to touch the engine metals or components. And we put 3 or 4 drops in there. We're making it pretty diluted, and it's still making that water, it's taking that water in. All right. So if we move over to one over here, again, we don't have much decarboning going on here with can F. And you see all the water inside there, what it's doing. It's just, the water's just pooling up at the bottom. It's not, this is not protecting it against water. It's not taking in any of the water. It's just basically allowing the water to pool at the bottom of what could be your gas tank or the bottom of your float bowl, or any part of your fuel delivery system. If that water sits there like that, it's going to start to corrode. It's going to start to break everything that it touches down. So F is pretty much a failure. Let's take a G. See what G does. G is doing the exact same thing. It's supposed to be absorbing water. It's doing nothing of the sort. It's doing the water, vinegar, water, oil scenario. It's just not mixing. It's not holding it in at all. We'll move on over to the little bottle. Let's see what I is going to do. This is a thicker solution, but it's not, I mean, it's just, the water's just sitting in there. It's not doing nothing. H. So H, once again, all it's doing is just pulling the water to the bottom. I don't know if you can, does that help at all? I don't know. You can see it pretty good. All right, D, again, seeing if we can remove water here. Ooh, D does it. D does encapsulate the water. A little bit. You can see that. There's no pooling water with D. J is pooling water. Same thing, just pooling it up. Take a look at E. E's soaking it up real good. So E does a good job of doing that. It doesn't decarbon, but it's absorbing water to a point. I mean, there's still some on the bottom, but not too bad. Better than some, not as good as others. K. K is doing the same thing that the others were doing. It's just pooling the water. The water's just sitting at the bottom. So only 2 of the other products actually absorb water. The rest that say that they get away from water, you know, they're not doing anything. They're not encapsulating the water at all. It's just going to allow the water to run through the fuel system, like you know, at the bottom of the fuel tank. A lot of times that water doesn't even get out of the tank because it can't. It's right at the bottom. With Ethanol Shield, it's decarboning and absorbed all the water. So now that we have our simulated fuel system full of water and carboned, now what we're going to do is we're going to do a burn test. So what we're looking for here is a clean and steady burn. With Ethanol Shield, once you light it, it's got a nice blue flame. It burns steady. It's not inconsistent. It's bringing the water out a little bit. I don't know, camera guy, zoom in a little bit. And you can tell it's, you know, it brings that water back out, but it's not flaring up. This is a very consistent burn. All right, let's take a look at what happens over here with G. Okay, G is very sooty. You can see the soot coming off of it. And inside that engine, once that water gets warm enough, it's creating massive havoc inside your engine. Soot is just bowling up over the top of it. It's very, very hot. So G got very, very hot, burned very consistently. Ethanol Shield burned completely. Let's see what F does. Again, very sooty. F is extremely sooty. It might even make the smoke alarms go off in here. Never really actually thought about that. Just crazy. Look at that black. It's terrible. So that's what's happening inside your exhaust system. I mean, it's gunking up every sensor you have in there. Now, once that water starts moving, now we do have fire extinguishers here, where I do not recommend that you do this at home, obviously. And that's going to put a hole right in the top of your piston too. That is some wicked stuff. And it left water at the bottom. There's still carbon in there. With ethanol shield, it leaves a nice oily residue on the metal to keep it treated. Okay, let's try the next three, see what happens. Okay, for the next three, we got I and H with ethanol shield in the middle. Whoa. I is not friendly at all. And it's not even lighting, it's just, that water's just blowing up. Ethanol shield, burns steady, no soot at all. I have no idea what H is going to do. Again, super sooty. I don't know if you can see that smoke billowing up. Just absolutely terrible. That one's gonna have a hot spot in it. I can feel it. It might just blow up. I'm not sure. And it's just, there she goes. Whoa. That was insane. Good thing the can was in there. If that would have touched anything that would, metal surface, that would have been junk. Again, the ethanol shield burning nice and steady and true. Water's coming out through vapor. So we got the fire extinguisher. We're gonna have that ready just in case. D, the water remover. That stuff has a high flash point. Now D did absorb the water, but it's got a more erratic flame. It burns pretty clean. It's doing a good job of burning. D did not decarbon. I can see the carbon in the bottom of the can. And it's making that flash point a lot higher. It's more volatile. Let's take a look at J. J did not decarbon either. It did not absorb the water. D's a pretty strong contender, but it's still an erratic flame. And it didn't decarbon the system. Let's see, J, the water's starting to bubble now. But there's where the erratic... Out of all the products we've tested, D has been the closest, but it's still a little bit sooty. You may not be able to see it on the camera, but it's a little sooty. We're coming off the flame. It didn't decarbon. I can still see the carbon in the bottom of the can. So with J, you can see the carbon is still there fully. Looks like there's still some water in there. It's kind of dry. It put a cakey texture on the bottom of the cans. Now the D is gone. You can see there's carbon still left over, and there's no oil residue at all. So D did not protect the metal. K, and once again, just to show how it burns compared to the others. K's got some soot to it. It didn't decarbon. I can see the carbon on the top. It didn't take care of the water. And it's super erratic flame. Very, very messy. It's got a high flash point. What surprises me is most of these products didn't do anything that they said they were supposed to do. They didn't absorb water, they didn't decarbon, and they burned extremely erratic, putting your engine in danger, putting your fuel system in danger. Okay, very dry can. Carbon is still almost untouched at all. Ethanol shield, again, puts that nice coating on the metal to keep it protected. Okay, E is gone. It did decarbon. There is a little bit of a residue on there. Burned quite a bit hotter than we wanted. The carbon did not come off completely until it was burned. from a top-down view, once again, showing the water. Ethanol shield pulls that water right out of there. The competitor just lets that water sit inside. So it's going to let that water touch the metal, touch the rubber, touch the gaskets. So if we light cam fire, we let ethanol shield on fire. Dangerous, dangerous stuff. So it's super hot. It even left some of the water down in there. The mix ratio on this is 1 ounce per 5 gallons. It comes in 10 ounce, it comes in 4 ounce, and it comes in a mechanics bottle of a gallon jug. So there you have it, Ethanol Shield's MotoCast review. My name once again is Ryan Harden. Don't miss us for our next episode.